Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am live this morning with my weekly card class to go. I took a little bit of a break for the end of June and all of July with graduations and year end and holidays and everything, but I am back and ready to go. I have a great lineup actually for the whole month for you guys. Good morning, Kim. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. And so I thought I would start off with what I consider to be a really easy stamp set because it's a stamp set that allows you to create spectacular, very elegant cards with no effort on your part. So kind of a good way to ease back into doing my own crafting. So I'm going to switch over to my desktop so that we can have a good look at this. And here we go. All right. So this stamp set is called Marvelous Nature. And it's got 2 images, 3 sentiments. And then, of course, you can just throw in whatever sentiments you want if, you don't need a thank you or you're marvelous or lots of love card. Those are the sentiments I've used on my cards today. But you can switch those up, put a happy birthday in there or thinking of you. Even, I thought this bird, well, actually both would make a great sympathy card as well, just by switching up your sentiments. So let's get started. Our first card is this one, and I've made it a little bit brighter, a little bit less elegant by adding in some of the masterfully made designer series paper. This is a really unique set of papers because they're beautiful watercolors and torn paper, masterfully made, truly. Like whoever was the person who designed these papers really did a gorgeous job on it. So it's lots of torn paper look and collages and stuff, and just a really neat designer series paper pack. So we're using 3 different patterns from this one and using them with this gorgeous stamp set. So let's grab our bits. So it's been a while. Remind you guys how my card classes work is that every Wednesday morning I'll show you how to make the 3 cards, and then with a $60 purchase using my host code, which is in the description of this video, you can actually get the make and take pack to make 2 of each of the 3 cards that I show today. And with a $70 order, you'll also get a package of the Tinsel Gems 3-pack that I'm using. All right, so in your kit, you're going to get all your little pieces here. And you're going to notice that you're getting a very thick piece of jute. We're actually using 3 of the different colors from the In Color Jute pack. But I wanted to show you how you can get the most out of this. And also, I find the jute is just a little bit thick for cards. It's great for packaging, but a little bit thick for cards. So I'm going to show you my little trick to make it a bit more usable on cards. All right, so we've got our pretty peacock card base, and I am not going to use my thumb. I'm going to use my bone folder. I'm getting better, trying to get my nails healthy again. All right, so we've got that, and we are going to start by grabbing this piece of paper that has the fern embossing on it. Okay, so that's the Fern 3D embossing folder. And we're going to attach our 2 pieces of designer series paper. Now, you'll notice I'm kind of looking, well, you can't see that I'm looking, but I'm turning them around. These papers actually do matter which direction you place them because they have words on them. It's quite challenging to see, I think, on the camera, but you can see like it says stamping there and act of, so there's some words on there. It's meant to look a little distressed and painted over. But in case you can see some of those words, I would like them to be facing the right direction. All right, so I'm going to pop that on there. And so I'm just leaving an equal border on 3 sides. And then I'm going to do this. So now you could use liquid glue. I'm being a little bit lazy today, and I'm using my Seal Plus. You could also use regular seal. You basically just want to get those attached to the card front. All right. Now, with that attached, we're going to move on to the little trick I was going to tell you about. So I have my piece of jute, and I'm going to go to one of the ends and kind of untwist it. And you're going to see that this jute is actually made up of 3 separate strings. Now you're going to start to twist it, and then it's going to kind of jam up on you. So just pull it straight again, and then you can start unwinding again. You can also, I've had some good luck doing it this way, just like actually untwist it like this. And then I always like the spin of doing it quickly. Just means you have to then straighten it out and do it again. All right, so we're going to keep working at this. You can actually separate more than one string. Get all 3 separated, and then you'll have 2 for your cards and a spare for another card, whatever you'd like to use it for. All right, just about done. So it takes a little bit of patience, which I don't seem to have this morning. All right. Oh, come on. So we're going to just start unwinding like this. There we go. All right, that's unwound enough. I should probably be able to do, there we go, the last bit. All right. Oh, good morning, Gail. You're not late. We're just getting started on our first card. So I haven't even done any stamping yet. I'm just showing how you can take that in color jute trim, and you can unwind it so that you end up with 3 thin pieces instead of 1 thick piece of trim. Now that we've done that, I've got this one little end I don't like the looks of. It's got a little, gets a little thin with a little ball on the end, so I'm just going to snip that off. And now we've got this lovely piece to work with. And just up near the top, I'm going to hold it down with a little tail so I have enough to tie a bow with. And then I'm going to wrap that around. Oh, actually, I left way too much, so I can actually straighten that out a bit. All right. So it really doesn't matter where you tie your bow, because after we've got our knot and our bow tied, we can reposition it. So I'm just finding the center point, and having difficulty tying a knot this morning. Only had 1 cup of coffee. Apparently it was not enough. All right, there we go. So I've got my knot tied. So now with my knot tied, I'm just going to bend my paper just slightly so that I can then go ahead and position that where I want it. So I've put the knot where I want my bow to be, right up near the top. And then I'm just going to make my bunny ears and wrap them around each other. And there we go. We've got this cute little bow, and it's all kind of like fuzzy and just, I don't know, it's really sweet. I like it. All right, and then I will trim up my ends though. There we go. So with that done, we can now attach this to our card front. And for this one, I am going to use liquid glue. I've got a lot more space to cover. And I like how the liquid glue really grabs on, especially when you're putting it onto something that's embossed. And when you're working on the back side, it's actually, I think the word is debossed. And so there's lots of holes for the glue to go into. So I like to use the liquid glue because then I get a nice even spread across everything. There we go. Oh, That hasn't happened to me in a while. I just got a bit of glue on my card front. So I'm just going to use my fingernail to push that back towards the white. And then once that's dry, I'm going to grab my glue eraser and just clean that up a bit. Okay, so yeah, it's fuzzy and very nice. Yeah. All right. So now we get, oh, I should put this other piece on the inside before I forget. We've got this other piece. This one's just our layer for the inside. Pretty Peacock is a little bit of a hard color to write on. A little bit dark. So I'm just going to throw some glue on there. And voila. Okay, so we've got our inside and our outside. Now we can do some stamping. So I'm just going to move these things out of my way. There we go. I'm going to grab my Pretty Peacock ink. I've got a square here that we're going to stamp our circle fern image on. And so I'm just going to ink this up. And I love this one because you can really see that I've got some nice full coverage on there of that image. And then it doesn't matter which way you stamp this on here as long as you get the whole image on the square. There we go. Oh, so pretty. Okay, and I'll put that to the side. I grab my Thanks Everything sentiment. Oh, I don't have it out yet. There we go. So take that, grab a block. I'll ink that up. Ooh. I'm just going to test that to make sure I'm not going to get borders. Nope, we're good. Okay, and there we go. Excellent. So there is our sentiment stamped, and I can close that ink up so I don't. Actually, you know what? We're going to do one quick little stamp. We're going to stamp this onto our envelope as well. Just a partial image though, off in the corner, just like that. And so just a pretty little accent on the front of our envelope. All right. So now I'll put that in there. Okay. So for those of you who don't like fussy cutting, Susan, if you're watching, sorry. That's exactly what we're going to do now. And we're going to leave just a really tiny little white border around the outside of this. So I'm just letting, oh, thanks, Kim. I try to remember. It bothers me when I have a blank envelope. I like it to look pretty when it shows up in the mail. All right, so I've just done that. And now to do this leaf, I'm actually going to come in towards the circle again instead of trying to cut out away from the circle. There we go. I've got that. And then we'll cut in towards our circle. And so this doesn't have to be super precise. And then there we go. We'll just use that edge to guide us. All right. Concentrating a little bit, having trouble talking while I do this. All right. There. And one last section to go. So again, we'll cut in. And then around we go. All right, and when I get there, I'm going to stop again because I am going to cut in on this to take that out. All right, and again, and really clean that up. All right, so anytime we've got like these divots in, I do like to cut towards the center instead of trying to turn it to cut out. Now we've got this one, I can kind of cut that way, but then I'm going to cut back again to get in nice and close. There. All right, so takes a little bit of concentration, but it's well worth the effort to have this really cool piece to put onto the front of our card. And then for our sentiment, I'm just snipping the two ends. So we've just got like a little slanted banner. Okay, and then these just get put onto our card. So I bring in our base again, flip these over, throw some dimensionals onto the back of them. Now, wait a second. For my thanks for everything, I only want my dimensional at the everything. And right beside it, I'm actually going to use just a little bit of glue for the other end because it is going to overlap onto our fern image. Okay, so peel those off. I'm going to put the fern down first. And I want it kind of going off that way. There we go. And then this little guy, get a little dab of glue over here. Nothing significant. Just enough so that later on it won't be flapping around. And then we're just putting this down here. So the two dimensionals will hold it up over on this side, and the little glue dot will just make sure it doesn't flap around on that side. All right, and then to finish our card, we're going to use our Tinsel Gem 3-pack. So this is a beautiful one with Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia, and Lost Lagoon gems in here. They're so pretty. And let's take your pick tool, and we are going to use the Lost Lagoon. So it's not an exact color match, but Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock are so close that it really does go quite nicely together. All right, there we go. So if you see the ink colors together, they're just really lovely, like different tones of each other. Or different shades of each other, I guess. So there we go. That is our first card, all done. I'm going to put that one off to the side. So when you get your card class, you'll also end up with 2 of this card at the end. And our lovely stamped envelope, of course. Okay. Our second card, I thought was a beautiful either wedding card or just, a way to send lots of love for a birthday or something, or even, you could turn that into a sympathy card with the words you write on the inside of this card. And I love that this one was actually created with a lot of love. Noah and I actually designed this one together. I was having trouble figuring out how to put all my bits together. I knew what I wanted to do, but I was having trouble envisioning it. And so he gave me what he calls the hockey card layout. Apparently this layering of the panels and leaving the space here is like something that they do on hockey cards. I don't know. It looks good though, so. I'm not really a big hockey card person, but Noah has a big collection, and yeah. All right, so first things first, we're going to take apart our jute trim in the pebbled path this time so that we can get our 3 strings out of this, and we're going to tie this one around our pebbled path embossed layer. Okay. Just takes a little bit of work in it. Just keep on twisting. Oh, hey, Louisa. Yeah, don't worry. You know where to find the videos. Yeah, and Louisa, the PDF and video link for this will also be posted on our team page later this afternoon. Okay, I'm actually switching it up. I'm going to start posting them the day that I do them because I've gotten myself nice and ahead of the game, so everything's all prepped and ready to go for you guys. That's something that you guys should know. You can get this as a card class to go. But if you're part of my team, you actually get the PDFs, not all the bits to make everything, but you get the PDF for free every week as being part of my team. All right, so you're going to find your piece of pebbled path now. You're going to make sure that it's the direction where you get the biggest border on the right-hand side. And then down near the bottom, we are going to tie a knot. So yeah, you get the PDFs for free as part of my team. And then, so if you are not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and want to know more about that, feel free to privately message me or contact me through email or whatever. And I'm happy to answer your questions about it. But basically, people who are part of my team get a discount on their Stampin' Up! Supplies. They get a Crafty Collaborations, like giant tutorial from me every month. They get my weekly card class tutorials. And then we also have what I call the world's cheapest card class. We have our team meetings, and I just charge them for the cost, like my cost of the materials for those. So it's a very inexpensive card class each month as well that we do online. And then we have some creative challenges and, other fun things going on as well. All right, so we've got that bow. Now I'm going to move that bow way over to the side. And actually, I think I'm even going to tighten it up a bit, make it a little bit smaller, because I want it to have a pretty small footprint over here on the side. I do like the long strings though, so I'm going to hold off and not cut those yet because, oh, that one will have to get cut. I don't like it when they fall off the edge of the card. But all right, so with that done, I am actually going to glue this to my card front. So there we go. And I am using liquid glue. This is going to let me kind of wiggle it around if I don't get it straight enough. And I want this right up against the left-hand side. I'm going to center it as best I can, top to bottom, but I really want it right up against the left fold. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to take my designer series paper, look at it, decide which way you want the torn bits to go. I want mine going that way. And then I'm going to put liquid glue on the back. There we go. And this part, you could make a little bit of a mess if you're not careful. I am going to tuck that under. And then I'm bringing this all the way down so it lines up along the bottom of my card and the top of my card. But then I have a little 1/2-inch strip here on the left-hand side. There we go. So that is our hockey card layout, our base there for our hockey card. Now I can come in here and trim. Just that one needs a little trimming. There we go. All right, not bad. Let me train it a little bit to go onto the card. Okay, a little bit more. It doesn't want to stay on the card. All right, and that one just to match it. There we go. Okay, so now we get to do our stamping. And this one, we're going to stamp with Pebbled Path. And I'm going to actually need to clean this up and use this block because I need kind of a larger block for both of these images. So this is the E block that I'm using. So you do need something slightly larger than a paper pumpkin block. I do find that if you don't have a large block like this, that you can actually grab anything that's flat and use it. So you could like stick this onto like if you've got a clear glass plate, or I've even used my cell phone. I don't really recommend that because if you get ink on it, it's not a good thing. But all right. So there we go. Pop that onto the E-block. And let's see, Pebbled Path is our ink today. So come in here and just try to get a really nice, so now this one you do want to try and get the whole ink pad over the whole image, because otherwise the edge of the ink pad leaves a little line on your image. Okay, and then again, doesn't matter about centering this as long as the whole image is on the rectangle. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, I kind of like that with the white border too. Too big for that. All right. Now we're going to grab our envelope and just one of our little birds there. Now this time I am going to try to make it a little bit squared because it's going on the front of the envelope. Oops, I almost lost his face. So a little bit further over probably would have been better, but not bad. All right, so with that done, put that to the side. And now we're going to grab our berry burst and stamp our sentiment in berry burst. Now, I don't think I have this sentiment out yet either. Nope, I don't. There we go. So, lots of love. And I am stamping it on here. So I've got this little strip of paper. That was maybe a little high. I'm going to do that again and lower it a bit. There we go. That's better. Okay. First, put that off to the side. Now, this is the same as the last one. I'm going to trim these edges. Just like that. And I am going to fussy cut this guy. So this one's pretty simple to fussy cut as well. I do want to leave that little border again, and just the bits that we encounter that break the flow of the cut are a little bit easier because they're just kind of more even edged. Okay. I'm still cutting in towards them though, instead of cutting out away from them. Yeah. And even here for this one, I am going to cut in towards that instead of out. There we go. All right. So I hope you guys have been having a great summer. I just found I did not have the time or the space to do any videos in the month of July. We did a lot of back and forth between here and my parents' place in the interior, and lots of day trips and beach trips and all the good things. And then I picked the perfect day to get back into my craft room because it is pouring rain outside this morning. I feel bad for Noah because he's actually outside moving sea cans today, and it is not the weather he was hoping for, but that's okay. At least it's not burning hot today. Okay, so this one I'm going to have to come in and do it straight up because I've got the other piece that's in my way. There we go. All right. And we're almost done. So this one's pretty easy. Okay. And like that. All right, so we've got that cut out. Wow. Oh, no rain in Abbotsford. Oh, you're lucky, Kim. It is absolutely pouring here. Like just crazy rain. So hopefully it just dries up before it gets, well, actually, no, I don't hope that. You guys need the rain. So hopefully it heads your way, and it's really nice. It's still in the 20s, but it's so refreshing and lovely. So we've got all of these on the back. I'm going to peel all those off. And this gets popped right on to our card. And so I'm kind of playing with that ribbon, but I also am more concerned about getting kind of an equal border on those three sides. Okay, if your bow is in the way, just untie it, and then you can retie it over a little bit later. And then I'm going to pop this on down at the bottom. And I did just kind of tuck it under his wing, and so that it sticks off to the side like that. There. All right, and then to finish this one up, we're going to add some fresh freesia dots. So again, they're not exactly the right color, but once you put them down on top of the pebbled path, it really does work well. Oh, I've lost the backing to that one, the sticky part. Let's get you back on your glue. Oh, come on. There we go. So you do want to make sure that as you're picking these guys up, that you're picking them up with their adhesive attached to the back. They are called tinsel gems because they actually have a little bit of tinsel in the epoxy, and on some of them it's just kind of hanging out the side, so you have to pick it off. All right, so that is our second card all done. So you can see it's basically the same concept as the previous one. Lay down some DSP and then fussy cut your image and add your sentiment, but with a bit of a different layout, so gives it a different feel. Oh, you'll have to add it to your wish list. You know what? It was actually on my wish list right from the beginning because it was so beautiful. And I love these ones where the stamp does all the work. Like, I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just stamping it. And it looks like something fancy has been done. So that's my favorite kind of stamp set. All right, now I need to grab my cleaner again before we start our third card because I need our fern back. So let's clean this up. It's actually got quite a bit of ink on it. Let's flip that over. So this is our Simply Chamois, and you basically, it's just got water on it. You basically just stamp your stamp onto the chamois until it's clean, and no chemicals, no nothing. We can just switch that out and grab our other one. There we go. All right. So this one, we're going to, surprise, surprise, grab our jute trim again and untwist it. All right, so while I'm doing this, because I think you guys have figured out how I do this, I'll just remind people, if you placed an order in the month of July, it's not this month, and you spent more than $60 Canadian, then that means you earned bonus days coupons. And so August is the month to redeem those. So if you've got those and haven't redeemed them, you want to be grabbing your wish list and finding those things that you'd like to order this month, because those coupons can only be redeemed in the month of August. Oh, good morning. You like the negative side, like the white for the leaf. Yes, I know. Isn't it cool? So yeah, it's very, very neat. So yeah, month of August for redeeming those bonus days coupons. The other thing is that our kits are on sale this month. Up to 30% off some of our kits. We even have a brand new kit. It hasn't arrived yet. I'm hoping it will tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, yay. So it should arrive tomorrow. So I'm hoping I'll have chance tomorrow evening before my team meeting to pop on and share the newest kit with you guys, because it is on sale for like an incredible price. I think it's like $14. And it looks so pretty. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. All right. Before we do anything, I'm going to decide which way I want my paper. Oh, let's see. This is a tough one. I think I want my tears like that. All right. And then I'm going to actually grab this and put it on here so that I can see where to place my bow. Because I want my bow right in the middle of that. And then I'm going to tie my knot there and tie my bow all the way over here on this side. All right. So even though this is a pretty peacock paper, I'm pairing it up with boho blue. The two actually go quite nicely together. And yeah, blues and greens, it's a nice combo. Okay, so we're going to do that. I actually love this card with school going back in a few weeks. I'm hoping to get a bunch of stuff done just to brighten everybody's first day and have a little treat in their mailboxes. And so this card I know would be perfect for a few of my nature-loving colleagues who are truly marvelous. All right, there we go. Trim up those ends. And a cool ocean backdrop. Yes, it would. Yeah, this whole masterfully made series just has like the coolest things. And then this side as well I've used just as like on its own as a card, and then just like throw a sentiment on there, and it's kind of done. All the paper tearing to make the cool flowers and everything. It's really a unique set of designer series papers. But we're going to hide that one today. We're going to glue this onto a layer of white and then onto our card front. So here we go. This goes onto, you've got two pieces of white. They're exactly the same. Well, you've got more than two pieces of white, but you've got two big pieces of white that are exactly the same, so you don't have to do any hunting. All right. And this one, oops. Oh, I need my bone folder. That's why this isn't working out. There we go. Okay, so this one that we put the DSP onto, we're now going to glue this onto our card front with that bow down on the bottom right-hand side. There. So just layer all these up. And then the other larger piece of white, we're going to glue onto the inside of our card. And that's going to be our area to do some writing. There we go. And voila. Just like that. Okay. So we've got our background created. Now we've got to do our stamping. And this time we are stamping in boho blue. So grab that. This is one of our in colors. So matching up with our jute trim. And let's see here. Stamp You're Marvelous onto a banner. So that's a banner from our Stylish Shapes dies. And then we'll grab that beautiful fern and ink it up. There we go. And we will stamp that. Now, I did want to let you know, if you're finding that your stamp pad is too liquidy and you're getting kind of blotches and stuff on your image, the reason my bone folder is all weirdly stained at the end is because you can actually use it on your ink pads to kind of move the ink off to the side so that you get a spot that's a little bit less juicy. And then you just wipe your bone folder off so that you don't get ink on your next project, and you're good to go. So just a little trick, if you're finding your ink pad is too juicy, you can do that to kind of smooth things out. All right, so we've got that one done. Now, just like on the last two, I'm going to fussy cut this. Oh, it helps because then you stop focusing on the words and you can just really get things nice and straight. Yeah, stamping sentiments vertically has been a lifesaver for me because I am the worst at getting them crooked, especially when they're script sentiments. I find it very hard to focus on like getting them straight if I'm doing them horizontally. So, yeah. All right. So by now, third time's a charm. We're just pros at this now. We're flying through it. And cutting a little bit of a border on that. There we go. Almost done. Awesome. Okay, and here we go. So I wanted to let you guys know as well that I have created a new group. Not much is going to happen in there till September, but it's a new group for the new mini catalog. So this is kind of like our holiday one, the one that has all the autumn, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas stuff in it. It is going to be going live in September. And so Christy, Greta, and I, the Creative Crafty Trio, we're putting on a online catalog launch. And I'm also going to be doing an in-person one for those of you who are local. I'll have info about that soon. And so I'll share the link to join that group in the comments of this video afterwards. I should have put it into the description. Because yeah, we'd love to have you there. It's a free all-day event. Pop in, pop out. Everything will be recorded. And yeah, just a great way for you to see the new catalog and see a bunch of stuff from the new catalog. All right, so with this fussy cut, I put some dimensionals on the back, and we're going to center that circle onto our boho blue stylish shape circle. That's the largest one from the pack. And we are good to go. So this circle, I am actually going to put on second. I'm going to put this on first. So now I'm actually going to grab one of my local, yes, at my house in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. Great question. Thank you. Sometimes I forget these details. So I'm cutting up the edge of one of my dimensionals, the tiny edge. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to put this down over top of that twine. I don't want to mess around with that twine, get in the way of it or anything. So I'm creating like a channel that that twine can go into. All right, so here we go. Popping that on. The twine's in the little channel. And that's all adhered now. And then I'm going to take this guy, put some adhesive on. Oh, darn it. That's why I hadn't done that. Haha, because now I can't tuck this in. That's okay. So we're going to do a little cheat then. I am actually going to trim this. I am actually going to grab my paper snips and cut straight across. And then I'll be able to pop that on like that. So there you go. If you ever do it where your dimensionals get in your way, there are ways around this. And this layer is actually being glued straight down. So we're going to grab our glue. Actually, I'd like that on a bit more of an angle. Come in and cut a bit more off. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So there's always a way. And yeah, so we're just throwing some glue onto the back of that and tucking that under, but keeping it centered on your two sides. Just add our embellishment, and this time we're using the Misty Moonlight dots. They're so pretty. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, there's no mistakes, just happy detours. Wasn't that a Bob Ross thing? Yeah, and that is our finished card. So that's our third card. Oh, I forgot to do my envelope on this one. Let's quickly grab our boho blue right there in my in colors. Ink that up. Oops. And pop that onto our envelope. There we go. Beautiful. So I'll bring back all three cards from this class and show you guys what the full card class will look like. So we'll get 2 of each of our 3 cards. Well, the stuff to make them. And so you'll just need your inks, adhesives, and of course the stamp set at home, which is perfect because if you don't have those things, place your order. Voila, you get your stamps and inks, and then I'll send you guys all the bits that you need to make this. So thank you so much for joining me. I will be sending out an email later today that has the link to the replay of this, the details for the card class for ordering, and hopefully I'll remember to also add in the link there for joining the new catalog launch party for online and the details for in person as well. When I first started stamping, I was constantly using bling to cover up ink fingerprints. Oh yeah, I think we've all been there. Ink fingerprints, or for me, it's I always drop the ink pad and then get or I drop the card onto an ink pad. Yeah, always need those workarounds and lots of bling. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are. I hope you're enjoying the refreshing rain that we need so much, or still a beautiful sunshiny day. And I'll see you next Wednesday for my next weekly card class. So you have all week until Sunday night to place your order using the host code to get this card class. And then Monday morning, we'll have a new one all geared up and ready to go for Wednesday. Bye, everyone.